guys, and welcome back. I am Zemo, the dad in DPS, and seeing as it's now Wednesday, midweek, we are going to be doing another The Good, the Bad, and the Scrip, a series where I find a weapon, review it, and post it. Pretty damn simple. Anywho, before we get into the video, don't forget to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe. It really helps out the channel and helps motivate me to continue making these videos for you guys. So, without further ado, let's get on with it. Welcome to My Chemical Dependancy. So, a lot of you might recognise this weapon from one of my earlier videos. It is a Junkies 25% faster fire rate, 90% reduced weight flamer. Now, in terms of how well this weapon should do, well, it's Junkies, so it's always going to be decent. Obviously, it could be bloodied, could be anti-armor, there's loads of different things that could work, but this was the only one that I had that had faster fire rate on it, so I felt this was the better one to test out and see how well it does. Now, flamers are very, very good weapons in general. They mince, well I say mince, they melt enemies that you come up against with relative ease, and as usual I would always recommend that you use a weapon like this, being a heavy weapon, in your power armor because you're going to get the best use out of it. So with that, let's get to the first impressions. So let's talk about this flamer. Now, in general, the one that you'll see more often than not when people are using flamers are the legacy weapons. However, as you just saw, this thing turns most enemies into a slight pile of mush with just a second's notice. Very, very good in terms of ammo conservative. Literally, you don't use a lot of ammo to do a lot of damage. And any enemies that come up against you and get close enough are pretty much definitely dead. Combine that with the fact that this weapon's got faster fire rate on there, it is giving out 25% more damage than it would per second. And the fire damage, quite a lot of enemies don't have proper resistances to them. My child is currently trying to steal a crisp from me. But yeah. Burn. Yeah. Anyway, it's a good weapon. It's very, very powerful. It does a lot of damage in a short burst of time. The new patch has wrecked the way explosive and durability and all that when it was fixed. So at the moment, this weapon is probably breaking a lot faster than it normally would. Let's see. Yeah, it's breaking a lot faster than it normally would currently. It wasn't full durability when I started this, by the way, but it is still breaking incredibly quick. So that is a current problem, but hopefully Bethesda will fix that in the near future like they did previously. But in terms of just damage output, it is absolutely fantastic. Junkies is not a bad effect, and because it's not a bad effect, it is definitely outputting a good amount of damage. Don't get me wrong, there's probably better versions of this out there, but isn't that always the case with a lot of things, especially when it's a weapon that could have quite a ridiculously powerful legacy effect, like explosive on it, and that just changes the way it fires altogether. But you can't really do anything about that. You either have legacies or you don't, and I don't, so I have to make do with things like this. And moving on, we come to the build. Now, it's a basic melee heavy gunner build. We've got blocker on here to reduce melee attacks, bandolier because if I'm not wearing this, I'm not walking, heavy gunner for extra damage, other heavy gunner for more extra damage, and final heavy gunner for more extra damage, then bare arms so that my weapon weights are reduced. On here we've got concentrated fire and glow sight, just because it's the only real perks I can use in that entire tree, and yeah, they're quite good. This can be swapped out for Grenadier and some other little random things, but nothing really important. We've got Radical in here for the extra strength, Fireproof for the resistances, Adamantanium Skeleton so that I can't break my limbs. Then in the Charisma tree we have Strain Numbers for obvious reasons, Magnetic Personality for extra Charisma and for extra XP, and Inspirational for the same reason for the extra XP. This can be swapped out for Tenderizer, just to get that extra damage. Then we've got batteries not included because you know, I need the ability to walk. Stabilized for the extra accuracy and armor ignoring power, and then Nerd Rage for damage resistance, health, and AP regen and damage. Always forget damage. We've got Through Hiker on here, mainly because I don't have the 3rd rank of Action Boy at this moment. Just, again, weight reduction. We've got Dodgy, so I dodge a decent amount of incoming damage, and then we've got Adrenaline to give me that extra damage up to 60%. Now, in terms of the last one, we've got Bloody Mess, again more damage, 1 Gun Army for the stagger and the limbed cripple chance, Ricochet so that I can avoid a lot of incoming bullets, Class Freak for the negative reduction of my mutations, and Starch Genes there. You probably heard my kid in the background. He was wanting a crisp from me. He can't talk yet, so he just mumbles. Anywho, let's move on to testing. Alrighty, so as usual, we have returned to Jeff, who heard me coming because I am in a big clompy stompy power armor suit. Come and get me, Jeff. Come on, out of the water. You giant fat turd. Come on. He's not close enough and he's just gave me a concussion. And as you can see, he doesn't last very long against this weapon. There's not really much else to say. It melted him rather easily. Let's see how the Queen does. So we're back in the dank swamp that is Cranberry Bog, and I've stocked up on some ammo because I didn't think that I would really have enough to take on these stupid Mirelurks otherwise. Now, as you can see, Mirelurks themselves, not a huge problem for this gun, but that's not who we're here for. We're here for Queenie. So, let's see how we can do. Now, she's only a level 60 Queen, but she's going down like hell. Oh, that hurt. Yeah. I think it'll do. Definitely think it will do. Very, very easy weapon to use. You just need to get up close and personal and burn, burn, burn. Now, the question on everybody's lips should be, how does this weapon pull off in daily ops? Well, in terms of damage and whatnot, it is very good. The biggest problem you've got is obviously the new daily ops are difficult to survive in. But in terms of like damage, you are outputting a lot with this weapon. It is incredibly high damage. Almost every enemy that you come across dies instantly, and the ammo that you get from them is anything up to 24, so you are getting a crap ton of ammo back. But yeah, as you see, if you're stuck in any animations or anything like that, you go down like a sack of potatoes. But that's pretty much the new daily ops down to a T. If you were in a regular daily op, it'd be absolutely fine. It's just the case of this mode. But at the same time, yeah, very economical weapon to be using. Just in general, it just depends on how many enemies catch you at the one time. If you're caught out by multiples, you'll die. So we are up against the big boss man here, the top of the litter when it comes to the raiders, and we'll see how well it does against, I want to say her. As you can see, headshot damage is pretty high. Yeah. Kills bosses fairly quickly as well. So definitely a good weapon to be using. Would 100% recommend this weapon in general. So that was today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, it's been a little bit more difficult to do today because I've got a little tag along. My youngest son, who's sitting here staring at me, and he's been making all sorts of noises and making it a bit more difficult for me to do the filming in time today. But what needs to be done, and we've managed it, haven't we? Yeah? Yeah, we've managed it. Now, if you did like today's video, don't forget to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe. So the weapon today, yeah, it did really well, and the shortness of the video kind of shows that. If I'm killing off the things I'm testing really quickly, it makes the video go a lot quicker. So I think the shorter a video I do for a weapon, probably the more effective it is in terms of damage per second. Not to say that it's the better weapons that are shorter, just that they do quick damage. But yeah, we'll catch you next time. Oh yeah, you want to see it? We'll catch you next time in the wasteland.